I want to give you credit for jumping off the Titanic before it sunk.
No comment. I'm staying away. No. I have friends over there. Fired. I have friends over there.
Yeah, you gonna see them soon.
On the Chet play to end regulation on the foul.
In my head, on that, I just need to stay down and not get the steal, knowing I'm fouling him as soon as he starts catching the ball. So I fucked that off.
Stop talking about it and do it, or else you'll be, into the new year with the same problems.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NBA Cinema. We can tell Steph Curry is a little frustrated now. He should be, because he really hit what should have been the game winner with the step back three-pointer to put up the Warriors three points with 22 seconds or so left in the game. And, that frustration, it's kind of been building up all season. And I know, Steph's really not usually demonstrative, so he's not going to really badmouth, Draymond in that way. But you can tell he's like, look, this is one we should have had. And shout out to Chet Holmgren. He stepped to the line, made 3 free throws on a boneheaded, foul by Draymond Green. Take a listen here at what Chet had to say, as well as Draymond and Steph.
Chet, again on the 3 free throws that you buried at the end, I can't imagine this is the first time you've been fouled late in the game in a situation like that, but it's a little bit different where there's a big timeout where they're reviewing it. When you're in that situation on the bench, are you trying to stay locked in? Are you trying to put your mind at ease? What exactly is going through your head before you go and take those shots?
No, in college, I got fouled late game, and there was a timeout after, and I ended up missing one of the free throws. Fortunately, it didn't end up costing us the game. We won anyways. But kind of in that timeout moment, I was thinking about the free throws and my form, et cetera, and I ended up getting tight. Like, my shot just ended up tight on the first free throw, and I missed it. So in that moment, I was just thinking, not about the free throws, I guess. I was like, what is coach telling me? Make sure my hands are dry, and then just go out there and shoot the free throws the same way I practice them every single day. Kind of that's just what I did. Don't think about the moment so much as the task.
On the Chet play to end regulation on the foul.
I thought, something that we've been talking about a lot, fouling while we're up 3, and so I was very hypersensitive to it. Like, I got to foul. You don't want to be the guy to get that 3 up. I personally thought that I got him before he started his upward motion. But I saw the replay too, and it's close as hell. And, regardless of if I did or didn't, if it's close, they're going to go with the call on the floor. The call on the floor is 3 shots. So I got to be better there. He's facing the rim. I can't foul there. I think, I jumped for the ball thinking I could get the steal, and it went a little over my head. On that, I just need to stay down and not get the steal, knowing I'm fouling him as soon as he starts catching the ball. So I fucked that off. It's a mistake that a young guy should make, not someone in their 12th year.
That kind of leads me into the next question, which is you guys are obviously 4-time champs, have closed in every type of playoff situation, but lately, the last 3 road games, as an example, it's mistakes late. What's going on?
I think those mistakes late. Mistakes happen at every point in the game. I don't so much look at the mistakes late and say that's why we lost the game, because how do we get in that position? You look at all these games we're losing, we're in total control. And so I worry more about how are we getting to that space, not the plays down the stretch. The plays down the stretches usually comes from the things that you give up leading up to them. Now, like I said, I fucked that off and fouled on the 3 with whatever it was, but it's what we're doing leading up to these situations that's even putting ourselves in the position that we're in.
Are you talking that in a positive way of you got up that much, or in a negative way of you turned it over this many times, you let him back in the game, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Can't turn the ball over that many times, can't foul that many times yet. We are doing a good job of building a lead. What do you have to do to sustain it? I think that's what we got to do.
Steve said he still like this is still a championship group. Clay kind of echoed it to me. I mean, I assume your belief remains that, but like, you know, is this you're 10-12, but seems to be internally you guys still think this.
Of course, you know, we tricked off 4 games, like legitimately. All of a sudden, you don't trick those games off. You're 12-8, and everybody's like, oh man, you're sitting there in what, 2nd place or 3rd place, and everybody's great, right? So, like I said, it's a game of margins, and you got to win in the margins, and we haven't done a good job of that. But we do, which I think we can and will, and you put yourself back in contention. But 22 games in, I don't think anyone's throwing in the towel.
How do you kind of reconcile what's going on right now where, you know, you're one of the most veteran teams in the league, your history is what it is, but, you know, that's 3 straight road games given away late and just everything that's going on?
I don't know, man. Got to figure out how to stop talking about it and do it, or else you'll be, you know, into the new year with the same problem. So whatever it is, you know, it's within our control. We got to do it if we're going to be any type of a serious team. And yeah, I'm kind of sick of talking about it too.
Yeah.
Just got to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, Steph is basically saying, hey, if we're going to be a serious team, meaning not someone just going through the motions, constantly talking about what we did in the past. Everybody's calling us, you know, it's a death of a dynasty. And what's, you know, sad is just looking at it, it seems like, I mean, Steph, he's playing, you know, really high level ball. Of course, there's been a drop off with Clay with his injuries to his leg. I'm one that maybe it's time to start considering moving Clay to the bench. Because as long as he's a starter, I think he's, you know, probably gearing up thinking, you know, since he's been loyal to the organization, that they're going to really kind of give him another nice deal. And you can't really waste money. And at this point, it would be a waste giving Clay, you know, what you would have given Clay back in 2018, you know, or 2017 or whatever. Like, this is a different Klay Thompson. It's probably time to start implementing. I think Kerr is really learning now that he really needs to develop his young guys, and Kuminga needs to see the floor more. That's period. He shouldn't have no quarters where he don't touch the floor, let alone halves and games. So at this point, Kuminga has to get more playing time. There's been games where he hasn't played for an entire half, and that doesn't make sense at this point. I think Steve Kerr is probably still living in the past and really needs to kind of adjust his approach, I would think, at this point, because Klay Thompson is not the Klay Thompson of, oh, you traded Jordan Poole, so you don't have, you know, that instant offense to kind of carry you for stretches. So the Warriors are just, you know, really putting too much on Steph Curry's shoulders at this point.